Well, Call for Action is looking into debt collectors who take things too far. We've learned a collection agency in Lockport has been shut down for bullying consumers. What should you do if you're being harassed by a debt collector? Call for Action's Al Vaughters is here with some advice. Al?
Well, Jackie, the debt collector at Swanson Walker & Associates is actually different from a collection agency in that it buys old uncollectible debts for pennies on the dollar and then collects all the money it can from the original borrowers. Legal? Yes. Moral? Well, we'll leave that up to you.
They're harassing, bullying, threatening.
Assistant Attorney General Jim Morrissey describing the abusive tactics of Swanson Walker & Associates, firing up consumer complaints from all over the country. The Attorney General reached a settlement with the company that effectively shuts Swanson Walker down.
We were contacted by consumers who called us afraid that the sheriff was going to be at the door in a few minutes, executing an arrest warrant or subject to imprisonment.
Complaints against the Lockport agency include false threats of lawsuits against consumers, improperly threatening to seize consumers' property, freeze their bank accounts, and garnish their wages.
According to the complaints that we had, they said that they had already sued the consumer, when in fact that wasn't true. But they also threatened to sue consumers, and we know that that was an empty threat too, because they had never sued a consumer in the history of the organization.
Complaints also included improperly accusing consumers of criminal activity and threatening arrest, improperly disclosing debts to third parties, and illegally calling consumers at their places of employment.
And it's not just to employers, to neighbors, to family members, to cousins. I mean, these are the types of calls that were being made.
Swanson Walker was located on the second floor of this office building on South Transit Road in the city of Lockport. Now the doors are locked and the offices are empty.
Well, currently the Better Business Bureau has nearly 100 complaints on file for this particular company.
Peggy Penders of the Better Business Bureau told us the Lockport company deliberately avoided local scrutiny by going after out-of-state consumers.
They don't want to deal with consumers that are in their own backyards, so they remove any information that actually has to do with consumers in the Western New York area.
Now, as part of the settlement, Swanson Walker & Associates also agreed to pay a $10,000 fine. If you've been harassed by an abusive debt collector or collection agency, you can call the Attorney General's Consumer Hotline at 853-8404. Al Vaughters, News 4 at 5.